The most important thing to keep in mind for waterbending is that it is a payment made at the payment step. You see, whenever we're casting a spell, we're not just doing everything all at once. There's a step-by-step process in which we do all of these things. And when it comes to activating abilities, that process is pretty much exactly the same. I'm not going to go through every step in the process, but there's 2 points near the end that I want to highlight. The first one is the activating mana ability step. This is where you can activate mana abilities to get ready for the payment step, which is right after this one. Which, in that step, you can make all payments necessary to be able to successfully cast a spell or activate an ability. This is where we can tap our creatures or artifacts for waterbending. So it's important to note that payment and activating mana abilities are 2 separate steps. You can't activate mana abilities during payment, and you can't make any payment during activating mana abilities. So the important thing to keep in mind is activating mana abilities happens before making payment. So if I were to add mana during the mana ability step with Wild Cantor, when we get to the payment step, we can use that mana to pay for waterbending, but we can't tap that Wild Cantor because we had to sacrifice it, and that body is no longer around to be able to be tapped for waterbending. Now, an interesting thing to keep in mind is that state-based actions aren't checked in the middle of the spell casting or activating ability process. This means during the activating mana ability step, I can remove all the counters from Workhorse to add 4 colorless mana into my mana pool, and that Workhorse will still be around to be able to be tapped during the payment step for waterbending. Then the last thing I want to talk about is that when it comes to the payment, you can make payments in whatever order that you choose. So if we had Hama on the battlefield exiling Blood Divination, when it comes to paying the waterbending cost equal to the mana cost and the additional cost of sacrificing a creature for Blood Divination, we can choose to pay the cost in the order of tapping that creature to waterbending and then sacrificing that same creature for the additional cost of Blood Divination. That's all I can think of for waterbending for now, but I'm sure there's going to be more questions, so feel free to leave them in the comments.